Well, hello, DCO Nation. Welcome to Dead Calm Outdoors Radio. This is the show where the tide set the tone and the bite tells the story. We're diving into everything saltwater inshore kayak fishing, from lures and locations to weather, water, and winning tactics. If it helps you hook up on more fish, we're talking about it right here. So grab your paddle, check your drag, and here we go. Well, hello, DCO Nation, and welcome to Dead Calm Outdoors right here on the Outdoor Radio Network. My name is Chris, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. This is the show where we talk about everything saltwater inshore kayak fishing and everything that kind of surrounds it. So I have been out the last couple of weeks, and I tell you what, the flounder fishing has been just fantastic in Murrells Inlet. A ton of numbers being caught, but not a lot of big fish. So that's fine. I couldn't tell you the last time that I caught a keeper flounder. And here in South Carolina, keeper size flounder is 16 inches or bigger. But if you guys want to catch those videos and check out my fishing days out there in Murrells Inlet, you can head over to YouTube and just search Dead Calm Outdoors. Also, you guys can give me a follow on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. I always upload these radio shows on YouTube and Spotify. So if you guys want to check out the video portion, because a lot of times I show gear, lures, all of that on the video portion. So if you guys want to go check that out, I really do appreciate it. Again, just search Dead Calm Outdoors and we can get connected. So this week, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. One, before we really jump into the show, on Captain Bob's show this week, On the Hook with Captain Bob, he addressed rules of the road for boaters. And one of the reasons he kind of brought that up was several weeks ago when I was on the water, I was almost swamped and rolled in my kayak. I was talking to a couple of guys. Heath Wadford is one of them. You guys know, who follow me on YouTube, you guys know that I fish with Heath quite a bit. And, and I told him about a situation that happened, that a charter boat was going by me and he was throwing, I have to assume this wake was a 3-foot wake. And I had to duck into this little, I'm going to call it a little grass cove. I was fishing along a grass line, and there was a break into the grass line where I could kind of duck around a corner. And if it wasn't for that little break in the grass line that I could kind of duck around and have that wake get broke up a little bit, I have no doubt that he would have swamped and rolled me. That wake was it was big. It was a 3-foot wake. Again, I wouldn't think he would do it on purpose. You don't know. Maybe he was thinking about other things, but Captain Bob addresses, the rules of the road for boaters. He is a certified captain. He knows those rules, and he talks about wake responsibility and how boaters are responsible for that wake. And I believe one of the things that he did say was, a wake is just an extension of your boat. So if you cause damage at a dock or another boat or hurt somebody because of your wake, technically you are responsible. So, but, I just wanted to bring that up. I really do appreciate Captain Bob bringing that to the forefront and addressing that. I was not rolled over. I was not swamped. So, again, tucking behind that little bit of a grass break protected me. And even if I did get rolled over, I was in about 3 or 4 feet of water. So it's not like it was over my head or anything like that. Yes, I could have stood up. It would have been waist deep. But again, nobody wants to be tossed into the water. I would have had gear that I would have had to try to fish out of the water. It just would have been, just a nightmare scenario. So again, I was safe, but guys, especially kayakers, have your head on a swivel when you're out there. And when boaters do go by me and they slow down and they kind of, I'm going to say idle or putt by me, I always give them a wave and a thumbs up and say, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Because those guys, they really do have their eyes out there and are respectful for everybody on the water. So again, Captain Bob, I appreciate you bringing up that topic. So let's jump into what I want to talk about this week. I get a lot of comments, questions, hey, what are you taking out on the water? What kind of hat are you wearing? What kind of sun protection? What do you have in your kayak? So I'm just going to kind of start with what I wear, how I dress, the kind of the gear, and then I'm going to move kind of into the kayak and everything that I load in for a day of fishing. Everything from my big front hatch. I've got a middle hatch that I put things into, what I carry in my black pack, all of that kind of stuff. My rod and reel breakdowns. You guys are always asking about rods and reels and my setup. So, I'm just going to kind of lay it all out there. And yeah, we're just going to walk right through everything. So before we get into it, I want to just preference that all the gear, all the clothing, everything that I mention, I am not sponsored at all by any companies. Okay. There was one company that did sponsor on the show, and it was several months ago. I Strike Fishing. They make jig heads. I pretty much exclusively fish I Strike, and I was really excited that they sponsored for a month or so on the show. They are a great company locally here in Charleston. You guys can pick up, I Strike fishing jigs, all over the place. I love them. Again, I am not sponsored anymore by them, but I love the product. And so I just want to preference that, because a lot of people will be like, hey, he's talking about, Danco pliers because he's sponsored by him, and I am not sponsored by anybody. I get nothing. All of this stuff I have paid for out of my own pocket. And, again, guys, I'm a redneck at heart. I am cheap. I try to go budget friendly for my stuff. So, okay, I want to just preference and get that out of the way. So let's talk about the clothing that I wear. It is summertime. It is mid-June right now. It is June 17th as you guys are listening to this. So let's talk about hat and headwear. So a lot of times I wear just like a baseball cap with a net gator, which I'm holding one up right here. This is from Grove Life Outfitters. So check them out, Grove Life. Awesome net gators. And then I wear some Costa sunglasses. Now, I kind of got away from wearing the baseball cap with my sunglasses and a net gator because it felt like my sunglasses and my ears were getting pushed together. And by the end of the day, my ears and the side of my head were hurting. So I kind of got away from that, and I went to the wide brim hat. This is the one I've been wearing. It's an AFCO wide brim hat, and I really like this one because the front and the back is almost a hard bill like a baseball cap. Now, the sides are floppy, but the very front is like a baseball cap. Now, on the video, if you guys are watching, you can see this part right here looks a little different, and that's hard. And on windy, breezy days, it doesn't flop up out of my face. It stays down and protects my eyes from the sun. So loving the AFCO wide brim hat. Again, not sponsored, but love it. I'll probably end up getting another one. So kind of working down, the shirts I wear are Columbia's. They're the PFGs. Hopefully I got that right. The performance fishing gear. They are the long sleeve. Sometimes they have the hood, sometimes they don't. I like them. One, we have a Columbia outlet next to the house, and we can pick up stuff at a very reasonable price. The PFG, excuse me, sun shirts, I can get for, gosh, I want to say like $25. And so that is really, really great. So I go pick up, 2, 3, 4 at a time. And a lot of times, if you spend like $100, they'll give you like 20% off. So I can pick up 4 for like $80, which is fantastic. $20 a shirt for a SPF 50 fishing shirt. I love them. So guys, wear a good sun shirt, fishing shirt that has that SPF 50 sun protection on it. So working my way down, I do carry pliers with me. So on my belt, I carry pliers, and the only pliers I have are Danco. I'm holding them up right here. This Danco set, this green pair, I have had for probably 3 years. I never rinse these things off. I am horrible about taking good care of my equipment. It seems like when I get home, I throw them up onto the dresser, I throw them over here, and they never get washed off, but they are not corroded. These things still work fantastic. The one things that I like about them is the little cutters. You can change these out. You can go onto Amazon and get those cutters and change those out. So that's really awesome. These are a new pair that I have, which I really love. A nice sheath that I got from Release Over 20. So yeah, man, I love my Danco pliers. Working again down, I wear the Columbia fishing pants. Again, because of the Columbia outlet, I can go over there, pick myself up some fishing pants, and love those. And then I wear my NRS boundary boots. Now it's starting to get a little bit warm out during the summer, but definitely during the winter, I wear the boundaries. And now I'm going to start moving to like an aqua sock. I just go over to Walmart. I pick up some little aqua socks, these little shoes that you can get for, $5, and I just throw those on my feet. So guys, that is what I wear on my person. But guys, stick around. That is the end of the first segment. Don't go anywhere. We are getting packed and ready, and you guys are coming along with us for a day out on the water. So guys, you are listening to Dead Calm Outdoors right here on the Outdoor Radio Network. Well, welcome back, DCO Nation. I appreciate you guys sticking around. We are talking about getting packed and ready for a day of fishing, and everything that I kind of take along on a day of fishing. I get a ton of questions, and I just thought this would be a great time to just kind of run through what I take. I'm sure you guys, do things a lot differently. That's awesome. In that first segment, I talked about what I wear going out, from hat all the way to my shoes. And I like to be completely covered and protect myself from the sun. Now, I am 55 years old. I know that a lot of guys don't like to, give their age, but I'm 55 years old. And I have worked outside my whole life. My career, I started in golf. I was a golf course superintendent for, 10, 15 years as a superintendent, but I started off in golf. I'm in landscaping now. So, being protected from the sun after all of those years, I have been very fortunate and blessed not to have, any skin conditions. So I take that very seriously, and hopefully you guys do too, with some sunscreen and, protecting yourself. And one of the things that I did forget to mention is, I do wear fishing gloves. These are just some AFCO fishing gloves, and they're actually starting to get pretty worn. You can't even see the word AFCO on them anymore because, I wash them at the end of the weekend, and so to keep them nice and clean. But yeah, guys, take sun protection very seriously when you're out there out on the water, especially when you're out there. I'm out there 6, 8, 10 hours during the day, and you can get baked and cooked pretty quickly. So take that very seriously. Let's move to what I pack and what I carry with me into my kayak. Now, the kayak that I use is a Hoodoo Impulse 120. I got that about 3 years ago. I love the platform. At one point, I was a pro staffer for them for about a year and a half. I backed away from them. No real reason why. I just didn't want to be a pro staffer anymore. But I love the platform. I think is great, stable kayak. So if you guys know that, up in the very front in the bow, there is a big hatch. So there's a couple of things that I hold up into that big hatch. One is a small first aid kit. It's a very basic first aid kit. It's got just some bandages, Neosporin, like a little thing of gauze. I can't even remember what it is. I mean, this thing is really small, basic. It's more for just some bandages, if I get a little cut, or if, God forbid, I get a hook in me and I got to stabilize it to get to an ER or yank this thing out. So small little first aid kit. Also, I have a package of dude wipes. Yes, everybody knows what dude wipes are for. When you're out there, hey, sometimes nature calls. So I keep a pack of dude wipes with me. And they're also great, if you get, some bad fish slime, or you got to wipe your hands off, those things are great for that too. Okay. So package of dude wipes, first aid kit. And I also keep my Naqua battery up there. Again, I am not sponsored by them, but the Naqua battery powers my fish finder. And the fish finder that I have, and I'm trying to get the cover off of it, is a Garmin Striker 4. I don't really use the fish finder to locate fish per se. Okay. I'm not, paddling or pedaling around looking for blips on the fish finder. I am using it more for depth, water temperature. I use the little clock on it. Every once in a while, I will use a waypoint and drop a waypoint. If I'm on like a new fishery and I get on like a school of fish, I'll drop a point on it. So if I end up going back there, I can kind of, locate that spot again. But that's really the only thing that I use it for. And then I keep a small lunchbox up there. I have a little small Yeti lunchbox, and I keep just a few snacks in it, a couple bottles of water, and keep that up front. So working my way back, I have a small hatch that's kind of right between my feet where I stand up. And in that small hatch, I have some fish grips. That's where I keep my extra little set screws for my pedal drive in case I lose one. I keep a couple extra packs in there. My Procure is in there, just some odds and end things. I may keep a couple of packs of lures that I know I'm going to be switching out kind of quickly during the day. I can just reach down inside there. So that's what I use there. Now, as I'm kind of working my way back, I have a catch board to measure my fish. It is tethered onto my seat. It's how long is it? 32-inch catch board. Yes, it's 32 inches. It's the big one because a lot of the redfish tournament I'm in, the slot size can go up to 31 3/4 of an inch. Okay. I was in a series several months ago where the max limit for your redfish was 31 3/4 of an inch. So I carry a 32-inch catch board with me. Moving on, I have a black pack. I'm not going to hold that thing up. You guys know what a black pack is. It's from Yak Attack. I picked it up earlier this year. I think it was maybe February. I had never had one before. I just used a crate that I had made, an old milk crate, and I took some PVC piping for some rod holders, and just kind of made my own. But I upgraded to the black pack, and I love it. I got the 16 by 16. Yeah, it fits in the tank well. It fits in there fine. But honestly, the 13 by 16 would have worked just fine for me. I may end up getting another one. Don't tell my wife. So I may end up getting another one just to kind of get a comparison between the bigger and the smaller one. But let's crack open that black pack and let's see what I carry. So I got a couple of things right here. So one of the things that I carry, especially during the summertime, is a thermocell. Down here in the low country, mosquitoes and no-see-ums can get absolutely insane. I mean, apocalyptic, where it's just horrible. Yes, I do a little bit of bug spray on me, but using the thermocell on my belt clip is absolutely a lifesaver. I love this thing. I keep it in my black pack with an extra strip and one of those little cartridges I keep in there all of the time. So love that thing. Always keep a towel with me. Never know what you need it for. Towel's always in the back. So what do I use to keep my lures? Right now, it's a big Ziploc bag. So if you guys are watching the video, I have two big 1 gallon Ziploc bags, and they're just full of the lures that I think I am going to need during the summertime. So everything from 4-inch and 5-inch diesel minnows, thick tricks, shrimp patterns, kicker crabs, all of that kind of stuff are in here. I'm constantly going through here, updating it, different colors, different profiles, but this is what I use. I just grab it out and just use a big 1 gallon Ziploc bag. Moving on, I've got all of my leader line. I use the same one. This is the J Fluoro. I use J braid on all of my tackle, my rod and reels, and I've got a 12, 15, and 20, and this is my 20-pound leader, and I keep that all back in there too. So I keep all of the leader material I need, and then here is my terminal tackle. So I've got a Plano Edge, and this is the 3700 size, and this has all of my hooks in it. So I love the Plano Edge. I've got a lot of those, I think they're called Dissident packets in there that absorb water. So every time I get like a pair of shoes, you get these little water or moisture absorbent bags, and you can actually get these on Amazon too. And I throw these in here, and so if there's any, wet hooks or anything like that, this stuff, it absorbs the moisture, and I love it. So my Plano Edge, I keep it stocked up all the time. Again, the majority, what I have in here is eye strike. There is a lot of owner in here. I have some bottom sweeper jigs. So that's all of my terminal tackle right there. So I'm kind of looking back. What else do I have in there? That's really about it. I keep it pretty stripped down inside my black pack. So there are 3 rod holders. Now I can put 6 on the black pack. I only keep 3 on there, and I keep them on one side. And then I carry 4 rods with me, and the 4th rod goes in the actual rod holder in the kayak. So I do that for a very specific reason, having them all on one side, because off of my right shoulder in the back, off of my left shoulder in the back is where I mount my rear GoPro to get the rear shot facing forward. So if I had, my rods on that side, you would be looking through the rods and doing that. So I keep all of the rods on my right hand side. And, that is my dominant hand. So when I do reach back, I can grab my rod. So let's go through my rod and reel setups here real quick. I'm starting to kind of run out of some time here. So there's really only two rods that I use. They're all 7 foot. I like a 7 foot rod for a kayak, maybe even a little bit shorter. They're all 7 foot. I have two medium light fast actions, and I have two medium fast actions. The fast actions I think, are ideal. Now, I think I'm going to look at getting a medium heavy for some more heavier lures that I want to be throwing, but they're all spooled up with 10-pound braid, a 10-pound J braid with a leader. Either they're all fluorocarbon, 12, 15, and 20 pounds. So those are, and my reel setup, gosh, I almost forgot. They are all 2500s. So for inshore fishing, 2500s is just fine. They are Daiwa Legalis, and I have one Pin Battle 3. So that is what I use. I know that I went through that fairly quickly because, guys, we are at the end of the show. I can't believe how quickly this went by. So, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, I just would like to remind you, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. Catch all the videos so you can see all of the gear in action. But guys, we're going to end it, and we're going to end it like we always do. Remember, conservation starts with you. Release a fish for someone else to enjoy. And you've been listening to Dead Calm Outdoors right here on the Outdoor Radio Network.